What's up, guys? This is Desmond101 back with another video. This time we're going to show you how to beat Konami's Wai Wai World on the Famicom. And let's quickly check out the story real quick here. This is Dr. Cinnamon. He's saying Konami World has fallen into crisis. And here's Konami Man. So Konami Man was the original mascot for Konami, who's long forgotten now. But he played a pretty important role in a lot of these old Konami games. He would show up as cameo. Now here's Konami Girl, and Konami Lady. And Dr. Cinnamon is actually from the Twin Bee series. And we're going to be playing it here. A translation by Demi59. So there was never an official release here. And this game actually does support 2 players. We're just going to be doing 1 player. Alright, so this is how the game starts out. You can go back and visit Dr. Cinnamon here to get your life back. And he'll let you view other character profiles. Konami Girl, and these are the other ones that you can pick up in the game. So that's what we have to do. We go through all these different stages here, rescuing characters from the other Konami games, and unlocking different abilities until you can get to the end of the game and beat the final boss. So the 6 worlds that they have here are the Goondocks from the Goonies. This is Feudal Japan from Goemon. This is Hell from Getsu Fumaden. This is Transylvania from Castlevania. This is New York from King Kong, and that is a Konami game. And this is the Moai heads from Easter Island, which you might recognize from the Gradius games. And you can see the penguin down there in the corner, who is from an old Konami game called Antarctic Adventure or something like that. That was kind of like a very early Konami game. So anyway, to start off, you go to Feudal Japan. And the game is basically just a side-scrolling platformer, just like Ninja Turtles on the NES. But I think this game is pretty important because it showcases a lot of that Konami gameplay and art style that they were known for. And it's really interesting seeing other characters like Simon Belmont and Goemon make an appearance. Even King Kong. I think that's pretty hilarious to think that King Kong shows up in a Konami kind of team-up game. So the levels are pretty big, and this game was actually a little tricky. It seems really simple and easy at first, and deep down it isn't too complicated, but there are a few things you have to learn to get through the game. Mostly the maps, because the first few times I played this game I couldn't figure out how I was supposed to get through it. And basically you need to just know where to go quickly to make less of a hassle out of it. Because otherwise, if you're just wandering around when you first play it, it's kind of hard to figure out where you're supposed to go. The levels do kind of have like branching paths, so I think that was the intent. Konami wants you to spend a lot of time exploring. So I want to show these really quick. There are some games that you can play to try and win more bullets. So bullets are kind of like a currency in the game, which you can use to bring somebody back to life if you lose one of your characters. So I just wanted to stop in there to show you that you can go into a lot of these places. Which is similar from the Goemon games, if you played Legend of the Mystical Ninja. And yeah, in case you noticed, it is emulation, so I was playing this on the AVS in preparation for this recording, and for some reason, one of the last levels, which is a scrolling shooter, it had graphical issues, and I tried updating the firmware and it still didn't fix it, so I went ahead and had to go with emulation in this case. You see a lot of enemies drop these bullets, or they can drop hearts, which are health. Right now you can't use the bullets until you get special items for the characters, so they don't seem really useful at first when you start the game. So the main objective of each stage is to find the key and go save the character of that stage. And a lot of times to get the key you might have to fight a boss, but not for each stage. So once we're in this part of the level, you just go left over here. There's a treasure chest, and you'll need to save Goemon to be able to access those. They're usually just those large hearts, which restore several of your health bars. These dragons are a pain. So once you have the key, then you can go and save the character. Unfortunately, my life is really low for both of my main characters. Wow, that was close. Only one heart. Alright, we made it to Goemon though. So we can rescue him now. We just go in front of the... There we go. Press down and open the cage. And you can tell from each character you switch to, which you press up and A to switch to different characters. Which is kind of weird at times. These guys. So you can see you can stun lock enemies. Doesn't always work perfectly though. Okay, so once you have those two things, you save Goemon. You can go ahead and leave the stage to go to the next level. We're gonna head to Transylvania. once you get a special power-up that lets Konami Man fly. Certain enemies definitely drop more frequently than others, so if you need to farm for health, it's good to zero in on those enemies that seem to drop more frequently. These guys are annoying. So as you can tell, there's lots of stairs everywhere. It seems to be kind of overused in the level design where everything just takes huge flights of stairs up and down. You get used to it, but it's a little repetitive. But there is also warps in a lot of the stages, not all of them. So I do recommend, if you want to play through this, it's good to check out a map. I've actually printed out myself a handy-dandy little map cheat sheet that helps me when I need to remember where a warp is or something, or how to navigate specifically through a stage. So once you have 100 bullets, you can revive another character by talking to Dr. Cinnamon's brother, Dr. Spice. And he'll take 100 bullets and restore one of your characters. So this is how you teleport back to the main hub. And it's always good to just stop in to visit Dr. Cinnamon and refill your character's life. Alright, up next is Transylvania. So this is where we'll fight our first boss in the game. And rescue Simon Belmont. He's definitely a great character to unlock. I like how they set the theme of each level, but some of the enemies are pretty weird. They're good here in Castlevania, I think, for the most part, but in some of the other stages we'll start seeing some really weird enemies. That guy's pretty weird. Some weird spider guy. So I usually leave a lot of those treasure chests in case I need them at a later time. Sometimes you don't actually need them at all. But they're good to just leave when you don't only need them because they can help you in a bind. Because really it's a bummer when one of the characters dies. And if you have to spend a bunch of your bullets, that can kind of be a setback, or it can take you a lot of time to go and farm the bullets. So it's always best to try to avoid anyone dying, obviously, but it can be one of the more annoying parts of the game. So if like all your characters die, you'll only get revived with Konami Man and Konami Lady, and then you'll have to pay for each of the other characters that's died too. So that could take forever. I had to do it when I was practicing for this, and it was pretty annoying, but once you get the route down and everything, it's not too bad. And it's actually pretty fun. So that was one of my favorite parts about playing through this, is just seeing all the characters and levels and stuff, seeing the enemies. And pretty simple gameplay, but there are some challenging elements to it. You can see it looks more like a Castlevania kind of level here. So before we go up there, we're going to go down here. Oh, these guys are really annoying enemies. Luckily, when you get hit, you have a pretty long amount of invincibility frames. And that can actually help you a lot. Okay, so just ignore that for now. You can't get that till later. That's Konami Lady's gun. I'm gonna cross this bridge here. First time I played this, I couldn't tell that you were able to step on those brown parts there. It's a little confusing for me. These fish, oh, these jumps, you have to be really careful here because it's easy to fall. You can kind of walk off the edge a bit. Alright, so for this boss, I'm going to switch to Goemon. It makes it pretty easy. And I just duck and attack him until he jumps. Sometimes if you're too close, he'll hit you, cause damage. Pretty cool looking boss though. One of those Konami things, you know, they always have good bosses in my opinion. Alright. Guess I'll just go back to Konami Man for now. So now we got the key, we can go ahead and save Simon. So we just gotta backtrack over here. Not to fall into any of these pits. And just kind of ignore the fish. They're pretty annoying and they can knock your life down. Okay, we're gonna go back up here. Konami Lady seems like her attack is a little better at stun locking the enemies. I guess we can go get this. I don't know, it'll respawn that night, damn it, just keep going. So up on that upper path, we'll see Dracula in the next room. He's not a boss or anything, he's just a regular enemy that hangs around and pesters you when you're trying to get by, so you actually really need to take him out. He's a pain. But if you can stun lock him, he teleports, but if you get him stuck, then you can just take him out in 1 or 2 tries. That's hopefully what's going to happen. So otherwise, he can really take your life down really bad. Good to keep an eye on the health drops and give them to other characters that need them. It's usually much smarter to do it that way. Sometimes the game is really generous too with health drops, sometimes it's stingy. It's kind of random. I think, yeah, the next room is where we'll see Dracula. I'll try with Konami Lady. She might be the best to stun lock him. already. Finally. Oh. Oh no. Okay, I actually killed Dracula. After I lost all my other characters though and had to come back. So you can see my bullet count is really low now. But I can finally rescue Simon. He's very happy that we saved him. There's that awesome Castlevania music. His range definitely makes him one of the best characters. So yeah, you can tell that switching method is kind of janky. Doesn't work so great. This jump is really weird here. So it definitely seems like some of the mechanics weren't completely finished and polished. So now we can quickly go up here and get Simon's weapon. Yeah, Drac is really not letting up, is he? There we go. These enemies are really annoying. They move around very unpredictably. Okay, whew. And thankfully the warp is very close by. So all you have to do is go to the warp spot, in this case right there. Just press down and you'll warp if you're at the exact spot. Okay. Now we can go ahead and go to the next level, which is the Goon Docks. From the Goonies. That means you have to rescue Mike from the Goonies. So of course this one's going to take place in some caves. If you've seen the Goonies or played the Goonies Konami game. The first one was only released on the Famicom. And then the second one we did get in the US and they kept the name Goonies too. So in here are those same card games. If you want to go into those doors, you can play those card or dice games. We're going to continue down here. Go ahead and switch over to Simon because of his range. And since he's got the cross weapon, then he can also use it. Press down and A to turn it on and the weapon flashes. And I'll show it here in a sec once we see an enemy that requires that kind of attack. Which there are definitely a lot of in this level. There are these large flying enemies in this part. So to make it across this large area here. And these flying enemies will pester you. There. So it costs a few bullets to use it, but it's the most powerful of all the sub-weapons in the game. So it's great that you can get his right away when you save him. Those are some pretty weird enemies. They really remind me of enemies from the first TMNT. When you go into the caves, they have various streams of alien-looking enemies that are in caves in that game too. I love it. It makes me nostalgic for the old days of Konami when I see stuff like this. And this level also is where I start getting kind of mixed up on where to go, getting lost. That's where the maps come in handy. You can see what I mean about those stairs, like, we'll just see a lot of stairs repeating. A lot of these kind of rooms. These will be like where the path forks in these kind of rooms. Okay, there's Konami Man's weapon. So he can use a projectile attack now. It's not as strong as Simon's, but it's very useful. Easy to blow through your ammo though, so it's good to kind of try and stock up on it first. But it's really useful against those guys because they got the long attack. So actually I need to check my guide here. Let's see. F to go get the key. Yeah, and really those random drops in enemies can really make or break your run. Sometimes it can seem super easy, other times it's like very unfair. There's no guarantee you'll get heart drops when you need them. Oh, there it is, where is it? You can see it there. Freaking walrus are like super fast. So is this the right way? For him to get that. I don't think we will come back through this way anymore after this time. Come on, these guys. dragon, fire-breathing dragons down here. Surprising amount of enemies in this game. Alright. Now we've got that key, so we can go ahead and go back to rescue Mikey. Oh, jeez. Lost all my life there. Enemies. Oh. The enemies are a real pain. Rescue Mikey, we gotta go back up to that other. Go up here. Go bottom right. Exit of this room will take us to the path to save Mikey. Use some heart drops now. Oh no. That's good, guys. Ugh. Okay, see, that might be a good spot to farm there. Okay, what is... I think he's this one. Okay, I think this is it. Alright. Save Mikey. And we can now go get his slingshot. Get his slingshot. I'm trying to remember, is it down that way? No. See, I don't even think this little okay. Okay, yeah, we have to go back up and around. Yeah, see, this level is really confusing for me for some reason. Oh no. I should switch to... Okay, I'm gonna go back. going down right below us there. That's what we're trying to get to. Oh, jeez. The rate of the respawn of those guys is a little annoying sometimes. Mice can be really nice. Oh, jeez. Give that to him. Alright, I think his power-up should be here. Yeah. So he can only fire when he's standing. Oh, jeez. God, this guy's taking off a ton of... Okay, so now to get to the warp... Go back out this way. Thankfully, none of the hits knocks your character back. So even if you accidentally jump into something, you can just keep landing where you planned. God, this guy. That has to be one of the most annoying enemies in the game. Close to the warp out of this level, so we can go to the next one. Back this way here. Yeah. Those flying enemies really have some erratic patterns that are very unpredictable. Pretty interesting enemy AI for such an old school NES game. I should get in that somewhere. Let's see, I think it's right here. Yep. Alright, so we're done with that level now. Let's go heal up. Always gotta remember to heal up. Alright, so after that, now we can go to New York for King Kong's level. And this level is pretty annoying. Let's see. Just because these enemies are kind of tricky. You really got to catch them in that stun lock. Do that. If you can do it right, there we go. At least I killed one of them, got a heart. And sometimes they'll fly above you. I haven't really figured out exactly. So here you have to use Mikey, so that's why you can't come here until you've gone to the Goondocks first. So this is another level with a boss. You have to go down and to the right to go fight the boss. So this is definitely one of the harder levels where it's easy to die on accident. get where we're going, we have to come up here. That's a potion up there that'll refill your life to max. These guys are pretty tricky too. They're mecha King Kongs. Sometimes, let's see, it might be better to use somebody with projectile attack or a long range attack. Because these guys take a lot of hits to kill, and they can take a ton of take a lot of your life away. They're being really tricky. Sometimes it's better to just skip them. Yeah. Give me a chance here. Yeah, just skip them. That's a Walker from the Gradius series. It's pretty cool to see them as an enemy. Okay, I think we're gonna need Mikey here again. Yep. Get through this area. So you also want to destroy those little red balls if they drop them right next to you, because they'll explode and cause that shrapnel damage. It's really hard to dodge this. Oh, okay, so let's see how good are we doing here. For this fight, your most important character is Simon. So what you want to do is get somebody like Konami Lady here. She's going to have to attack these projectiles on the way to the boss fight. Okay, let's switch to Simon, get his weapon ready. He's gonna try and mostly hit it while it's at the edge of the screen, because it'll take a ton of damage. Oh, yes! Wow. That was probably my best time fighting him yet. Okay, so now that we have the key, we can go ahead and rescue King Kong. And I did actually do a review of that game if you haven't played that King Kong Famicom game. It's actually based on the 1980s movie King Kong Lives, but Konami got the rights to do the game. And interestingly, since they did that, they somehow kind of got King Kong synonymous with Konami, with their brand, for this time in Japan. So for me, one of the hardest things about this level isn't just beating that boss, but it's about getting back out of here, getting to King Kong himself without dying. Because it is actually really easy to die here in this level, as you can tell. Tons and tons of hazards and things taking your life away. I think if I'm patient, I can get these guys right there. Nice. Alright. Not too shabby. Okay, and to get King Kong, we gotta... Okay, let's go all the way back to the left. Back down here. Oh, now we really need some heart drops. Some pretty weird looking enemies here in the New York stage. It's another level that reminds me a lot of Ninja Turtles. That guy takes a million hits. Let's see. Stick with Goemon. Okay, this part's another. Oh, nice. Yeah, he's pretty good at stun locking enemies too, actually. Seems like some characters are definitely better than others. Like Konami Man isn't great. Simon, I have a hard time. Alright, and here's King Kong. He's definitely the best character, I think, as far as like his strength. His attack is real high. He's also got like giant jump ability. Let's switch over to him. And there's one, so the rest of the stage is also tough because there isn't a warp here. I mean, the stage isn't huge, but I probably should have given that to somebody else. Dang, yeah, see those guys. Ugh. Switch. Ugh. Gosh, they're really dropping a ton of ammo, but that's not what I need at all right now. Oh, that was so close. Oh my gosh. Should give it to him, man. Goemon seems to have the luck this round. Yeah, you have to be really careful when you're switching characters because you might switch to somebody with just one hit bar left. And if they take damage, boom, they're dead. And it's just when you're switching them. The game doesn't give you any invincibility frames when you switch characters, which is like a huge shame. Okay, but now we just gotta get out of here. Still isn't going to be very easy to get out of here. Yes. I love it when the game drops one of those big hearts and you need it super badly. Okay, I think we have to go down this way. Maybe. Let's see. Yes. Alright, not bad. So, almost done with this part. Don't have to come back to this level anymore. Can make the game glitch out if you press jump in there at certain points. It's really weird also how you have to go so far forward to make the screen scroll. It seems like an oversight. I mean, most Konami games you wouldn't have to walk that far at the front of the screen. We're pretty much done here. Those are weird enemies. Like spaceship things. So, that means now that we have King Kong, we can go to the hardest level of the game, or the two hardest levels, which are Hell and Easter Island. So Hell is up next from Getsu Fumaden. I did actually mention this game in my Creepy Games You Might Not Know About video. And this is definitely my favorite level in the game as far as how it looks. King Kong is your guy to go to here for most of the level. Oops. There we go. See what I mean though? If you like accidentally switch to the wrong character, it's really annoying. Because it takes you like several clicks to get back to the next one. You don't have to wait for like the animation or the hop to change. You can keep pressing it to cycle through them really fast. But still, it's just really clunky. But I love the skulls and the kind of like lake of fire and stuff in the background. Or lake of blood, whatever it is. Definitely gives off that old school Konami vibe. So at this level, we're going to teleport out of, actually. Yes. Definitely needed that. So we're going to pretty much go through halfway into the level and then get a special power-up for Konami Man and Konami Lady that'll let us unlock the rest of the power-ups for them and the other characters. So we can go collect all of those, get a little stronger, get some items that improve our stats, our defense and stuff. When we come back, it makes it much more playable for us to beat this level and get the character unlocked for this level. Let's see, how is King Kong doing? Oh, he's still doing good. Let's see. I hate those flying ghosts. They're hard to hit when they show up. These freaking horse things. This part, okay, I better switch. It's good to kill those guys as soon as they come out because drain your life. Dang. Oh man. No, darn it. Oh, what a waste. My goodness. This game can be really harsh sometimes. Oh no. Darn. Glad she didn't die, but jeez. Oh, what's that? Okay, this is about midpoint now. Definitely gonna give that to King Kong, our boy Kong. I think in this translation they call him Donkey Kong. Totally incorrect. These guys are a huge pain. They can drain your life. So that jump right there is one that only King Kong can make too. So if you've lost it, if you died before you got here, then you can't make it past this part. So it's definitely something to remember. Alright, so the mantle is coming up here. Darn. They just put so many of those freaking skeleton guys right there in a row. It's ridiculous. I think you can just use Goemon to stand there. Yep. Nice. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So I think now we can go here. Yep, so there's the warp. So as soon as you get that mantle, you want to go ahead and warp out of there. Heal everybody. Okay, now we're going to go back to Japan to Goemon's level to get his power-up and to get that Gradius power-up thing that we saw at the very beginning. And that's going to make us a lot stronger. And Goemon will be able to do his projectile attack after we finish. You notice we'll never go down there. You don't actually need to go down that way at all during a playthrough. There's just some treasure chests you can get with the heart pickups. Okay, so to use the flying ability, you just press jump and hold the jump button. It's kind of tricky to get in here because if you get too close to the ground, it'll think you're trying to land. There we go. But if you're pressing to the right while you're holding the jump button, then it won't work. Now you can see the power has gone up. I defeated the ninja with just one hit instead of two. And this pickup for Goemon's real easy. You just go right here. Use the flying ability again and you just squeeze up through this area. Stupid ninja. Nice. Continue left over this way. He's got his weapon. So that means that we can go ahead and go get Konami Lady's weapon too in the Castlevania stage. So, do we need that? I don't think we need that. We'll just leave. And there's also an armor upgrade there in the Castlevania stage. So we'll just quickly stop by there and then you can return to hell. I don't think there's a warp in this stage. If I remember correctly. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of good to just go through the rest of the level so you can collect a bunch of bullets too. Let's see, for the later levels in the game are really helpful to have a lot of ammo. Full life? Yeah. So we don't have to stop back. We'll just go straight to Transylvania now. Dracula one more time. What a huge pain he is. He's probably the hardest regular enemy in the game. Just because he can teleport so fast and shoot multiple projectiles at you. See what I mean about the stairs though? It's kind of weird how they put so many stairs everywhere. They overdid it with the stairs a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll take the down path first, and then we'll go back up to get the armor, and then take the warp to leave. It's hard to not take damage in that room. Okay. So you want to be pretty careful here. And switch to Konami Lady. I like to push that thing down. It's like a trick thing anyway, it'll just fall out from under you if you try to. So what you want to do is stay as close to the top part above you as possible. Okay. And don't land, just go back. Okay. Alright, now we can go ahead and get the armor, which is back in that room where Dracula is. So we'll quickly stop by there. I hate that little skull. Oh, he's so hard to hit. And he shoots those weird slow bullets that chase after you. It's definitely, this game definitely has like a proto-Metroidvania feeling to it, like with the sort of exploratory elements and how you gain new abilities and the backtracking and stuff like that. You kind of come back more powerful and it makes the game feel really satisfying in that way once you have the upgrades and stuff. And as a Konami fan, I really like seeing all these characters make an appearance. In the art style too, it's like the way the bullets look, they look like the missiles from the Ninja Turtles game. So lots of neat little elements in this game just kind of make me think back to these old Konami days. Oh, that was a lot of heart drops. Alright, there's our buddy Drac. So really, you don't have to fight him. You can just get that and hightail it out of here. Jump there. What the heck is with that jump? Man, that was getting me worried there for a second. It's real touchy. Those jumps. Okay, so that means that we're all set to head back to hell to get the character Getsu Fumaden. Getsu Fuma, I think is his name actually. So that means switch back to King Kong. Get ready to fight this weird horse skeleton and the ghost thing. Enemies get pretty tough in this level, especially at the end of it when you're getting close to the boss. So the idea is to try and keep everyone's life as high as possible. good. The hitboxes are pretty weird sometimes. With some characters, it's like very generous with the hitbox sometimes. And others, it's like kind of stingy. I know that ghost is coming every time, but I always miss it. This part just drives me nuts here. It'll spawn that guy like right when you're jumping. Might as well grab those if they're dropping them. Don't worry about those so much. I got a pretty good amount of ammo. Okay. Made it not too bad. He's definitely beat up, but he's gonna be okay, I think. We'll see. Ah. Luckily their bullets can fire through objects. Okay, now I think this is where it gets even tougher. You can see since we grabbed the armor you take less damage, so it's pretty handy. If you try to come down here without that stuff, it's like, that guy takes like a million hits, it's not even really worth it. I need that. Oh no, he respawned. Bastard. Oh, I almost thought I wasn't gonna make it there. Oh, right when I said that. Shit. Damn it. Oh no. It really was. Oh, now I'm gonna have to be extra careful here. Ooh, there's a life thing. I'm gonna give it to Colin. Okay. We'll just keep it with King Kong here. So, you can kill these little smaller guys. get drops like that. Yes, so he's not really too hard at all. Then whenever you rescue this guy, Getsufuma, then you have to go to the right over here. And grab his power up. Okay, so now all we have to do is make it all the way back to the warp. Which is like at the halfway point of the stage. So we'll see how we can manage that. That. Make sure to try not to lose anybody else. I think we'll have to spend those bullets to revive Konami Lady. The sound effect that his throwing stars make is the same that the Ninja Turtles make when they use throwing stars in the first game. Oh no, I'm out of... Ah, look at that. Jeez. Guy doesn't give up, huh? Who else do I have? Let's see. Okay, he's probably better to get us back over to that warp right here. Oh, come on. Jeez. I think that's it. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Oh, I didn't get enough to revive Konami Lady. Oh, man. I wish you could take 99. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm gonna be out of bullets too. Oh. The next level is a huge pain too. So I'm gonna go farm some of these real quick. Okay, so I went ahead and got some more hearts, or some more bullets, so that we can revive Konami Lady. So I'll show that how it's done here. So you'll have to access Dr. Spice's character file, which is way at the bottom. Alright, now we'll go ahead and head to the final area, Easter Island. So to break these blocks, you need to use Getsufuma or King Kong's boulders that he throws can do it also. think there's one other way, but I don't remember what it is. So the blocks are kind of like real touchy about where you have to be to make contact with it. This level is really annoying too because there's lots of spots to take damage that's really difficult to avoid. Sometimes you can also find items in the top parts of the blocks. This guy, I don't know, I like to just go past him quickly. I can get that, but it's gonna go up above the pillar there. So it's almost not even worth unlocking it, honestly. I think here's an okay spot to just fly through. Take a little bit of damage, but it's quicker this way. Darn it. See, that's one of the huge things that I don't like about the switching system. It's better in Ninja Turtles. Because here it's like, you don't pause the game to switch. It's like the game mode still goes and you can die and everything. I just realized how low I am on projectile attacks too. No bullets. Okay, at least there's that. Forgot about that one. Got it right that time at least. I don't actually know what that is. I think it was one of those rice things. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a rice ball kind of thing. A rice triangle. So that's where this level's character special weapon is in here. We don't need to unlock it right now, we'll just keep going. These dragons, they're a real pain. You can try and get behind them. that way you can stun lock them from behind, because it seems like their ability to hit you from behind their hitbox isn't extended, but you can make contact with them a little easier. Not hard, it was worth it, it was well earned. Mikey's pretty good against those dragons for some reason. So this is another level where you just have to fight a boss to get the key. Okay, and there's gonna be big giant heads here. I think actually I need to go down though. Let me try and remember. Yes, okay. Probably go with Kong here for this part. Usually those little guys can't get over here. Kid is fast, Mikey. Alright. To beat this guy. Yes. Alright. Now we can head back that other way and we'll save this guy. Moai head guy. He's probably the funniest character in the game. Does that item show up? Yeah, look, it is in there. A rice ball. God, I hate those guys. They do look really cool, though. Yeah, there he is. He's speaking in some foreign, mysterious language, hieroglyphic language. He's got these funny little legs. There he is. There's like a headbutt attack. So, Moai did get his own game on Famicom called Moai-kun. It's like a puzzle game. I haven't played it much, but I'm thinking that's where this character comes from, besides Gradius. He's definitely, Moai is definitely from Gradius series. Okay, so now we just gotta go back up really quick to get his special weapon. And then we come back to right here, that's where the warp is actually. We're still really low on ammo for our... Oh, he was really walking at the weird angle. Yeah, it's so cheap how they always get an extra hit on you, even when you stun lock them. is. If I switch to somebody else. Oh, man, that's lame. They all went up there. Yeah, that one's all up here. I don't think you'll actually have time to get it. It's like a cruel trick that Konami played to these board characters. Like, I'll try, let's see. You have to get Konami Man after Goemon. Oh, no. Oh, got it. Damn. Wow, that was kind of annoyingly difficult. But here's his power up. See if I can make it appear. There it is. Ah, alright. It is annoying having to switch characters like that, though. Okay, so now I just gotta go all the way back down here. This red dragon. So okay, I think it's right here. Let's see. Yep, there's the warp. Cool. All done with that stage. So now we have all the characters we can go through the final parts of the game. That means we can go into that door 3 there. You can choose either between the Twin Bee fighter or the Vic Viper from Gradius. So we'll go ahead and go with this one. You can actually switch too when you're playing by pressing the select button. This is actually the level that messed up on the ABS. So it was because of this level, it was loading it all wrong, where the scrolling part in the background wasn't loading the graphics correctly. So on the next part of the stage there's obstacles and I wasn't able to see where they were appearing at, so it actually cost me a lot of extra lives and just be really frustrating. is the boss of this stage. Yeah, okay. So maybe if you die too many times, however many characters you have, then... Alright. So here we are at the final stage. So this level is really a pain. But we'll see how well we can do here. Okay, this part, I remember this part. These guys will just annoyingly crowd you. Oh man, these guys are so annoying. Ah, God, this level. Damn, see how... Part is ridiculous. This thing. Nice. See those things. What? What happened? Oh my God, what? Okay, I think we're almost there. Not looking so great either. I mean, at least we got ammo. But we're already down 2 of our members. Doing pretty good. Enemies are huge past me. Yes. Wow. Not bad. Okay, let's see. We got Goemon. The big guys are all there. So I just skipped past all this. Tried to. This guy takes a million hits and he'll just respawn immediately. So it's hardly worth even trying to kill him. But you're definitely going to take some damage right here. Alright. Yes! Alright. That was it. Oh, now I gotta get out. Okay. Trying this again. Let's see if we had better luck. It's real easy to screw this up. They don't give you like hardly any extra time. Stairs, man. Stairs will cost you a bunch of time on their own. Definitely like the look of the background and stuff. It's really cool. close again, okay. Yeah, that part, it makes you want to go the wrong way. Oof, alright. Man, that part really gets the nerves going. No, I don't think they finished this part of the translation. But we did it. That's the game. So hopefully that was a helpful guide on how to play this really interesting Konami classic. I definitely think it's worth checking out. A lot of fun, pretty tough, a little unfair sometimes, but a really cool experience nonetheless, and an interesting piece of Konami history. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you next time.